Hmm. All right, all right, all right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to A1 Forever Sports, the show that's cooler, fly too. And I got some guys that are cooler and fly just like that as well with me. This is something a little different, man. We was having a chat. I know me and my buddy T Will about different situations going on in Atlanta. So, Atlanta Braves fans, this one's for you. Atlanta Falcons fans, come on in too. And Atlanta Hawks fans, what it do? So, we're going to get into a few topics today. But first and foremost, of course, I'm Chris Tipmore, and this is A1 Forever Sports. But I want my guys, my colleagues, so my friends, my buddies, to introduce themselves to you. And one in particular that you probably seen him on Hawks Digest, but this is the first time he is gracing on A1 Forever Sports as well. So I wanted to you guys know that guy at the bottom with the polo hat. You guys know him already. But but outside of that, man, you guys just introduce yourselves, man. What's going on? How y'all feeling this morning?
What's going on, brother? Walter Pollard, of course. They have the Alpha Male, of course, Alpha Male Sports representative, but of course, one half of Hawks Digest with my man Chris Tipmore. Again, every time the Hawks are playing, Chris and I, we are definitely on your screen, on your YouTube screen as often as possible. Also, too, man, we just making sure we're up to date. You dig what I'm saying? Everything that we put together, we're up to date. We're giving you guys news, updates, things of that such. Just a friendly promo for that. And then of course, Alpha Male Sports. That's my personal brand. That's my personal sports page. Of course, we talk about it all from Hawks to Falcons to Braves, and again, other things like pop culture, things like that. It's the number one source for sports and entertainment. And again, we talk about it all. Lastly, I ain't gonna hold you. And I would assume T Will would know something about this. Last video I did was just talking about the sports teams in the 80s and just the different varieties of weird songs that they would put together. Okay. And that's coming from the Bears, the Bears championship video to the Philadelphia Eagles buddies watching you music video down to the Rams Ram It. Okay, just didn't make any sense, but yeah, just my little 2 cents. Just give you guys a heads up of what I got going, and what's the latest view on not Hawks, but Alpha Male Sports. But thank you, I'm glad to be here. Appreciate everybody.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Robert Blackman, and always one of the first ones in the chat room.
Robert.
Going on, man. I'm telling you. And go ahead, T Will, introduce yourself to everybody, man, for the show.
Oh, good. I am T Wil, host of For My ATL Sports One on YouTube. We have a variety of shows. I'm also a podcast member of the One Time for the Fan. And hey, Robert, when you win a Super Bowl, man, you can make a song about whatever you want, man. I remember the Super Bowl shuffle with the Bears. Now,
Yeah.
Ram It, boy, you went back on that one. Ooh, you went back on that one. Yeah, but I mean, hey, I remember it. I might have to come check that show out, man. But hey, Chris, on to you, man. We're here to talk about these Braves and Walt Weiss and these Hawks and not being so nice.
Yeah,
You
got a
know,
few things going on today, but yes, indeed, let's jump into that because yes, the Braves have hit the reset button. Walt Weiss takes the helm. He's named the Braves' new skipper, replaces Brian Snicker. And my thing is, he's familiar. He has been on the team for 8 years as the Braves bench coach, ex-Rockies manager, and he's representing the continuity, but also fresh leadership. Guys, there has been mixed reactions. There have been mixed reactions due to this news. Everyone's having their own opinion. I wanted to get you guys' opinions, and I'm definitely going to give mine as well. Starting with T Will on this one. How do you feel about the new Walt Weiss hire? Even though he's not new to us, again, he's going back into the skipper role, being in that leadership role. You guys, let me know how you feeling. Starting with T Will.
uh, I'm okay with it. I know that there were sexier names out there like Lehman and Lombard and all the analytics and this guy's new and he's great and when he walks by You just
Uh-oh.
feel inspired, but hey, look, Walt Weiss is an old salty dog, man. He's been in this game for quite a while. He was Brave for 3 years as a player. He worked with Snit for 8 years. And what I think people are not thinking about is I understand the need to go with analytics, but if you have never been a manager in a major league clubhouse, that's different.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And the other thing that Chris and I talked about, Walt may have not been the first choice.
No.
We very well could have made an offer to somebody with conditions that basically said, hey, we're going to hire you, but you need this guy as your bench manager. You need experienced managers. And they again, this is all speculation. I hate to do this, but we don't know. But they could have said no. And the reason I say that is because why wait until 2 days after the World Series to announce it if it was going to be Walt Weiss the entire time, right? So I do not think he was their first candidate. Doesn't matter. Do I think he could do the job? Sure, I do. I think it's going to be important who his staff is, right? And let's go down the line. You figure he probably keeps what up, Jay Black? You figure Jay Black. You figure he probably keeps the pitching coach, the hitting coach, Eddie Perez. I would think they would be mainstays now. And he probably keeps Freddie Gonzalez because Freddie's a great third base coach.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's about let's go get Wash, bring him back to the A as the bench coach, and let's go get EY and make him your first base coach because since EY has left, the Braves are last in base running, like they're terrible. And y'all know Wash, y'all know Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, they all know Wash. They all flourished under him. So, I think lo and behold, if you can add him along with Walt Weiss, along with EY, hey man, let's get the band back together. I don't have an issue with it because just because it's new, that doesn't mean it's effective. Plus,
absolutely
right. If you bring a new guy in, he's got to get to know Acuna. He's got to get to know Ozzie. When I mean get to know, Chris and I have worked together for like over a year and a half. I know when Chris is pissed. You don't have to say it. I know when Chris is happy. I know when Chris, I know what he's thinking in certain segments of the show. Hell, sometimes I know what he's going to say because I've worked with him on and off camera. There's no experience for experience. You can't substitute that. Walt Weiss knows these guys. He's seen these guys up close for 8 years. So you can kind of hit the ground running. Those are my thoughts. I'll defer to you guys.
Well, if y'all don't mind. No, I was going to say, yeah. I was going to piggyback. Actually, you said it all without just saying the one thing. Well, no, I'm sorry. You said it all because it just makes sense. There's no need to defer or go away from what the organization does or has done for years. The Braves organization, first of all, in Atlanta, we're not used to having a staple organization within whatever league that they're in. You know what I'm saying? The Hawks, yes, they're good somewhat, but they're kind of middle of the pack. Falcons, yeah, they're good, but kind of middle of the pack. The Braves is the only like sports team in Atlanta that we as a fan base can put a stamp on it and say, here we do this. Here we do this, as you know what I'm saying, as a whole. And I believe that it keeps the Braves close knit, keeps them tight. It's a hire that's from within. You dig what I'm saying? He was I think he was with the Braves back in 2018. He was with the Braves when they won the championship back in 2021. And like T Wil said, again, he was with all of these younger guys. You bring in a new coach, and we've seen it across different leagues, timelines, sports, whatever you want to call it, where a new coach comes in and completely screws everything up because he wants to implement his way of coaching or his thought process or this ultimately streamlines from the Bobby Cox tutelage or the Bobby Cox. I don't know what you want to call it, but it comes like Bobby Cox is the godhead, if you will. He's the head of what it is. And from there, it came to different managers after that. But Bobby Cox is the pinnacle. He's the start of it all. And I think from there, whoever the Braves decide to choose from Walt Weiss or whatever, they're going to measure him up against whether or not, he kind of falls in line with the Bobby Cox mindset, if you will. So I'm all for it. Again, people want something sexy. And also, too, coming off of a year where it was abysmal, just to be honest, for the Braves. But unfortunately, the modern day sports fans, they have the memory of a clownfish. You dig what I'm saying? They don't like, seriously, you know what I'm saying? And also too, it's a lot of people that are commenting on things that they have not been a part of. They don't know what it's like being a part of a team. They don't know what it's like having to adjust when you're bringing somebody completely new, when you're used to something being a certain way. So that's my 2 cents on it. I'm all for it. And again, we got a long time before baseball kicks back. Well, actually, they kick back up on the other side of the year. So, right. They'll be back soon enough, and we'll definitely see what things are going to be like come spring ball.
Yeah. And man, great points by both of you guys, man. I mean, a lot of the points that you guys saying, I was going to hit on as well. Of course, I believe that chemistry and continuity, but especially chemistry, is very underrated in sports. It's not talked about enough in sports. And you do have to have that continuity. Now, did I want to shake things up? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did, but only from a perspective of, okay, let's see what we can try new. Let's see what new face could possibly come in. And again, with the process of the waiting, I was actually kind of starting to lean like, hey, are the Braves actually going to outsource this? So I was actually interested to see what the Braves may have done. But after the World Series, and again, like at me and T Wil, we did talk about this. Yes, why wait so long to make this decision now? I feel like you want to make sure you had all your I's dotted, your T's crossed, every stone was turned. And I think there was a possibility that Lehman might have been an option. But, of course, we'll never know that. And it never has to be disclosed at this point because Walt Weiss is the guy. But that's how I do feel like. But can he get the job done? Possibly, because he's been a skipper before. Now in Colorado, I will give it with a grain of salt because he didn't really have much in Colorado. He even said it in his introductory speech that himself, he just really went for the interview, thought it would be good for him, to get the experience. Hey, wait a minute, I got the job. And then next thing you know, now he's a part of a team and the leader of a team, but he didn't have a lot going on out there in Colorado. So
sometimes you need the experience. Sometimes you just need the experience just to, because think of it like this. You got some coaches that, for instance, I'm trying to think of, because it's been some coaches that have had some poor showings. Okay, screw it. Pete Carroll, for instance. Pete Carroll, when he was coaching in the NFL, he hadn't done necessarily a good job in some places until he went to USC, did what he did, and then he came back to the NFL for a third time, I think, and ended up doing very well with the Seahawks. So sometimes it's not that, you can't look at, they didn't do a good job with the team that they were with. Like you said.
I got to play devil's advocate here, though, because currently and respectfully, we have a situation going on right now in Atlanta to where you did have a guy that was a head coach once before, came back in now, and things don't look like it has necessarily grown for him, in certain aspects.
We're talking about Raheem, right?
Hey, I'm talking about a coach without talking about a coach.
Hey, shoot. But you know what? He didn't do well. And you know what? He didn't do well even when he first started.
But that's my point. I'm saying it can go either way. It's always a flip of a coin and a crapshoot. It's just like all depending on what do you believe in. And these Braves fans, the Braves organization, and Braves fans should embrace the fact that the Braves organization, that's where I was going, with Alex Anthopoulos, they believe that Walt Weiss is the man that is here for the job. They want to keep that continuity. Like we've all been saying, the guys know Walt. You know, the guys know Walt, but this is an interesting option right here because I would love this personally if Chipper Jones, because Georgia Texas boy saying, "What's good, Braves family?" With Walt Weiss hiring, do you guys see Chipper coming in as a hitting coach? I would love Chipper coming in as a hitting coach because T Will, I just said something about that the other day as well, was saying, hey, if you can get him in as a hitting coach and fix everybody's swing, you know, and get everybody with that confidence. You know, Chipper's a no nonsense type of a guy. I would love the personality, the experience, and just the know how of that old school baseball. We can mix in some new school things. I think Chipper would ultimately be open to that, but still, if he can be the baseline, still be the fundamentals of it, I would love Chipper as a hitting coach. What say you guys?
Yeah, I'm with it, to be honest. What you got?
Yeah, hey man, who's not gonna love Chipper? I think he'd be the assistant head coach, but who doesn't love Chipper? But I wanted to kind of speak on what Walt was talking about, and I agree with him. Look at, you know what I mean? Sometimes in life, it's timing. So Belichick went to Cleveland and sucked. Oh my God, he was terrible. And then, of course, he went on to become one of the greatest coaches ever in New England. So sometimes it's about timing. Sometimes you have to work on your craft, right? Sometimes you got to go somewhere else and put some tricks in your bag and then come back and, but to Chris's point, sometimes it doesn't matter. You just not, coaching or management material. So it could go either way. I agree with both of you guys. But as far as Chipper is concerned, I think Chipper'd be a great addition. Chipper's fiery. What people don't understand about Walt Weiss is low-key a fiery guy. Now, He doesn't look like that, but Walt Weiss is, Walt and Snit, totally different. Okay? So I believe Walt will fire somebody up. If not, you might not see it, but Walt is kind of a fiery guy. Chipper's a fiery guy. A lot of people don't know this, but in '96, when the Braves went to the World Series, I believe they were down to the Cardinals 3-2. And the Cardinals were talking trash going off the field. And Chipper had a meeting with the team, and he said, if y'all are going to sit here and let them do this, then that's fine. But I'll be blankety blank if they do this to me. Yeah. And that Braves team came out and beat the what out of them in game 6. And I think in game 7, that Braves team beat them like 14-15-0. So, and I believe in the All-Star game, Chipper fired up the National League. So Chipper low-key is, he might not say much, but when he does, it carries weight. And I think Chipper would be good for the team. I think Walt would be good for the team. Because, guys, we're being honest. I think they just kind of stopped listening for a while. Notice.
Yeah.
When you sometimes it's not just about what you bring on the field, but sometimes it's the leadership that you can't see. Freddie was a leader.
Oh my gosh.
That was a big voice. Now, this Washington, Ron Washington left, and I believe
that was a big loss.
They're not talking about it, but I think that left a big void. Because I think Wash was the disciplinarian. You know what I mean? I think Sid said what he needed to say, but Wash could get in. Wash could check some folks.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I think when he left, that component kind of left. Because the one thing who was the hitting coach that left last year? Whatever. But he said they just stopped listening.
But it's almost like to the degree, because again, I see a lot of duality in all sports, but it almost reminds me of LSU. The major issue with LSU that took them down, I mean, literally took them down a rabbit hole of just death and despair, was the fact that their former head coach did not allow alumni back into, the building to talk to the players, to, you know what I'm saying? Like, just get that camaraderie with the players or give them a sense of identity. And so, like you said, T Will, it just makes sense with Chipper. Chipper comes around, he's fiery, he's gonna get into your ass, like coaches say, I'm gonna get in your ass. And so I feel as though with if Chipper being hired as a hitting coach, again, I feel as though this what we're talking about is basically the restoration of the heartbeat of the Atlanta Braves. Okay, let's not forget when they won, even when they won the championship, we could tell as Braves fans they were acting out of order. Okay, how in the heck do you rush down Peachtree Street to get up to doggone Cobb County? You are the Atlanta Braves. So again, I think what's going on is hopefully a restoration of the entire Braves organization, not just the team itself.
I can definitely dig that, fellas. Also in Braves news too, I seen this morning that Ozzy Albies 7 million options picked up by the Braves for 2026. So that's one guy that's going to be here. But also we have to remember that Hong Song Kim opted out of his $16 million deal. So he officially is free to go. He's free to go. But good news, two good news actually. You know what I'm saying? We have a rookie finalist. And he came out of nowhere for some people. Some people, felt like we should have traded him at the beginning of the season. But that's neither here or there. We're not going to talk about the past. And they're right, T Will. But our guy Drake Baldwin is a finalist for NL Rookie of the Year. Also, we have Matt Olson, 10-year vet now. Can you believe it's been that long? But won his third Gold Glove award as well. So good things for the Braves in that regard. Last thing before we move on to the Hawks, I just want to know you guys' opinion about this. Do you guys feel like Drake Baldwin is going to be the guy that the Braves could possibly start building around if he continues his trajectory up in another, let's say, 2-3 seasons? I know that's like way too early, but hey, that's what we do around here. We talk about stuff.
I think Drake's certainly going to be here. Will he be the main catcher? Not sure. Drake is great offensively. I don't know that his pop-up time and his arm are that, not that his defense is bad, but Sean Murphy clearly is the better candidate there. Now, what you got to ask yourself is,
well, Murph's been doing it,
is Sean Murphy going to be healthy? Because the hip situation that he has with him being a catcher, he's not going to be ready when they say he's going to be ready. He is not. It would not surprise me if he is out half of next year. So, Chris, to your point, we might not have a choice. I think you'll probably and I think the Braves did sign a third catcher, but you'll probably see a situation where they may utilize Drake as, kind of like they did this year, as the catcher, but also as the DH. I don't think we're going to re-sign Ozuna. So you'll probably see that. I don't think Drake's going anywhere. I think he's here to stay. But as far as like his role as the main catcher, not sure yet. You know what I mean? That could definitely develop, but not sure yet. One thing I did want to add that was good to see about this Braves team is that in the last game, remember when Matt Olson got thrown out of that last game for that ridiculous call with that umpire?
Ridiculous call.
You know who came to get Matt Olson? Did you see who came to get him, to keep him? It was Ronald Acuna.
Okay. See, I was gonna say the wrong name.
Never seen Acuna do that. I've never seen Acuna do that. So what that tells you is this team is close.
Right.
This team is. I've never seen Ronnie do that. Now I'm not saying he didn't get along with Freddie.
That right there.
I've never seen Ronald do that.
That's a great point, T Will, because and that goes back to what we've been talking about the whole time with the Walt Weiss hiring.
Yep.
You gotta have somebody that understands these guys, somebody that these guys will listen to, respond to. So regardless of whether we wanted Walt Weiss or not, it's not about personal feelings. We gotta think about the logo and the guys who are representing it. And I'm sure. I know that Alex said he talked to executives. He talked to a couple of guys that, are close to Weiss because he doesn't work directly next to him. So he had to ask a few questions. I'm pretty sure Snit was one of those guys. And I'm pretty sure he also asked the locker room as well. Like, how do they feel? The leaders of the locker room. How do they feel?
But you know what? To your question, because I can't say if he's gonna be um the I guess the
Baldwin.
fate. Say it again.
Yeah,
Baldwin,
you talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
Baldwin.
Baldwin. I can't say that he's gonna be, I guess, the guy or whatnot for the Braves, but I mean, when you look across the Braves outline, I mean, I remember when Fulton County Stadium used to have Braves games, okay, but from Dale Murphy, and I'm probably skipping over certain players, but from Dale Murphy, you can see that he was the pole mark for the Braves to uh, Chipper Jones, from Chipper Jones to Brian McCann, from Brian McCann to Freddie Freeman, from Freddie Freeman, you dig what I'm saying, to possibly right now Ronald Acuna. They've always had somebody that they could almost point to and say, hey, that's the guy. That is our guy. So, you could be onto something. I won't say that he would be the guy, but
Mhm.
I'm almost sure that you're definitely foreseeing something very, very telling. You dig? Just as far as the Braves or whatnot. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and before I move on, saying what about the Dominican player? I believe you're talking about Didier Francis, and
Mhm.
he is not necessarily ready for. To me, I think he needs a
Yeah,
little bit more work.
yeah,
But I ain't gonna lie to you, the potential is there. I'm
definitely,
keeping my eye on that kid for sure, for sure.
definitely,
All right,
definitely.
guys. So the Atlanta Hawks, man, the Atlanta Hawks. Now, of course, we can briefly
Ah,
touch. Right,
ah,
right.
ah.
They did, saying win last night to get back to 500. Going to briefly, touch on that, but right before we get into that, it's not necessarily always a good thing when you're hearing the Atlanta Hawks coming up and about with the word embezzlement attached to it.
Mm-mm.
But unfortunately, that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. And as the Hawks scandal, so the Hawks has us have a scandal going on with the ex Hawks executive as of June 2025. Um, Lester T. Jones charged with 3.8 million embezzlement. He was the senior VP of finance from 2016, like I said, until June 2025, and he was misused the corporate American Express for travel luxury items.
9 years.
Yes, he also faked invoices. He created fake emails. Yes, this is crazy. He had a $230,000 Las Vegas expense. And when did that Las Vegas trip happen? Last year. Yes, last year with trips to Bahamas, Hawaii, Thailand. Also, to add more context to it, he had a relationship going on with a now former executive, or excuse me, not executive, employee that worked for the Atlanta Hawks as well. Just all the way bad, all the way around.
I was about to ask that question, was he married or not? Because my wife asks questions. If she sees me
Right.
come in the house with an extra amount of money, you dig what I'm saying, or just spending crazy and just, yeah, baby, get it all, she's gonna ask questions. So this guy couldn't have been married, or you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make, wow, that's
Now, as
crazy.
far as like his personal life, whether he's married or anything, I know I didn't dive into it. I know it wasn't attached to any report that I saw about him being married. It was just anytime they mentioned relationship or anything relationship around Mr. Jones, it was saying that he had that relationship and he also bought luxury gifts
Mm.
for that employee that he had the relationship with going on as well. So I'm looking at the trips, and we're guys, we're men, and I just bring it right back up right there at the bottom. Trips: Bahamas, Hawaii, Thailand, Switzerland. Now, maybe Thailand, so maybe Switzerland. But come on now, those first two are obvious, what I'm saying? Like what did it say? Vacations, as they like to call
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's just like that was obvious like that for me as well. Overall, this man has been doing this, and I feel like that's where the Hawks have finally dodged a bullet because this man was going to keep on going. And honestly, if it wasn't for the NBA Cup, who knows how long this may have continued going
Nine
on
years.
behind.
I'm surprised you went 9 years. That's crazy. 9 years,
Again,
like
he's the VP of finances. I mean, I feel like we've all been in leadership roles. We've all been in high exec roles. We know how that chain of command thing goes. And when you're the VP, I mean, you're near the top right there, and then who's going to question you is how many people lower than you going to question different things going on. This man was calling the finance departments and trying to get different things pushed through. He having the fake emails and then having the actual company follow up and really get you jammed up, and you had so many lies you could not cover. And now, so you have the Hawks, in that light. Now, I know a couple guys wanted us to talk about it on Hawks Digest. I was just like, nah, that's not going to be the main point of a video. I already know that's not what they were looking for. But ultimately, just the news report itself was shocking when it came out. And just like, and it's so crazy because that's coming out now in the same year, around the same time that the whole thing with the NBA betting as well. So there are deep dives going into this all the way around, guys. But I know I've been talking. I know I've gave my thoughts, but I was just informing everybody about different events that was going on about this case. Also, last thing too, yes, he did go to jail. He did. He bonded out on a $10,000 bond, pled not guilty to all charges. So right now we are waiting for the law to do what it needs to do. Guys, how you guys feeling about it?
How come he didn't stop in 2020? That was the perfect opportunity. 2020 was his chance to stop. I'm sorry. I don't know. I have no thoughts on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad the Hawks are doing better on the court, because off the court they definitely are in some serious issues. Yeah.
Well, I guess number one, how does this affect the Hawks brand? That's number one for me. And then number two, what if the moves that this guy made prevented us from signing other free agents? Like,
right. Wow.
I would be pissed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
no wonder Tony didn't want to go into the luxury tax. He trying to figure out where the money at.
Exactly. Like if this caused us to trade away a player that we thought we couldn't afford because this guy is out taking
gallivanting
trips, you know what I mean? I'd be pissed. I would be pissed. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, number one, how does this impact the Hawks brand? Number two, was anybody else doing it? How does it just end with him? Right? I'm a conspiracy theorist. Let me put that out there. This is so much fun for me, right? Because I get to untangle some things. But what if he looped in other folks in on his scam, right? What if it wasn't just, taking women out to trips, but what if he financed, like, I don't know, some stock or whatever, and there's this slush fund. Okay, I'm spitballing, but
no, that you own to something. No, that listen, folks get to a point. Gallivanting, I know, right? It's crazy, but people get to a point where they at 9 years. That's
right.
The thing.
He was getting away with
9 years.
He was getting away. You know what I mean?
2020 was the biggest year of everybody embezzling or falsifying forms, documents. Yeah. So if there was any time to stop, it would have been 2020. You dig what I'm saying?
Bro, you look at it. It was just he got too big for his britches. If you look at it, when we went to Vegas for that NBA Cup run, that was like, okay, it was just the perfect time because that was around. A lot of things were going on. Remember, the Falcons themselves were playing the Raiders that weekend too. So that was just a big weekend for Atlanta just being in Vegas. It was the Atlanta takeover in Vegas. It really was.
Look at Kerry's comment. Because that's what I thought it was. You and I talked about this. Look at Kerry's comment at 11:40 a.m.
Oh yeah, investigators. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
investigators believe her relationship with Jones may have played a role in his spending patterns. To ruin your livelihood for a woman is so dumb, man. And that's coming from a woman, by the way.
That makes sense.
Ain't that the quintessential fall of man? I mean, you look across all arenas, from biblical days to politics to sports. Most men fall because they doing stupid with a woman. Respectfully, though.
He had gotten away with it, and not that I'm rooting for him. We needed to know, but he had gotten away with it. And then here she comes, and you know what I mean? well, I want this and I want that. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying too. Like, and it could have been something like that. It could have been something to where I feel like once they got to Vegas, man, it just best of the best of the best of the best of everything. And he said that the spending, because they were wondering why was it so much money, saying, and he was saying, oh, tickets, credentials. He was blaming, on different things that's kind of actually normal for them. So it's not like he wasn't he was a rookie at this. He was savvy at it now.
Yeah, baby, I'm
It's
gonna take
just,
you to
again,
the
I think he
Cayman
got
Islands
too big.
next.
Right. I just feel like he got too big.
Delilah got him, man.
Delilah, yes,
got him.
Delilah.
Yes, Delilah
Daddy,
got
if you really love me,
Yeah,
you'll
baby, I
buy
really
me.
do. I really
You'll
do.
buy
It's
me
crazy.
this
I was in Vegas that weekend.
$15,000.
I was wondering who was in the penthouse at the Mandalay Bay, and I was wondering who was up there, and it might have been Mr. Jones. It might have been. No, but see, all jokes aside, we make jokes and stuff like that, but this is not a funny situation at all, honestly. And if I've never
For
met
who?
Tony Wrestler. I've never met
I
Tony
agree with
Wrestler.
Walt.
Yeah,
It is
like, I'm
funny.
sorry for
It is funny.
for the brand.
It's funny
Okay,
for
Chris,
the
I'm with
brand.
you on the brand. The
For-
brand, it
for the
does
logo.
tarnish the brand.
For the logo.
Well, honestly, I don't even think. I think it's so detachable for the Hawks to the Hawks right now. I think this news came out at the right time for the Hawks. The Hawks are doing decent. They're bouncing back from an ugly start to the season. They're able to kind of get themselves together, rally around the fact that Trey's not on the court right now. They got a good win in prime time versus Orlando. And then this scapegoat idiot does what he's doing. And now the Hawks can detach themselves from him.
Mm-hmm.
They can pull back and we can laugh at him. This is when you laugh and point at somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he was stupid. He was stupid.
I guarantee you she is not coming to visit him in jail. And also to Walter's point, with this whole scandal with gambling, that is the Hawks' little, embezzlement. That's so far in the background. Like, we still don't know if they got everybody that was involved in that gambling scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you never know. You never know who was all involved until people start talking, until the investigation starts. Because again, no one necessarily even came out about the relationship. That was found within investigating all the embezzlement, all this different news coming out. And I'm pretty sure it possibly be some more news that come out. This isn't necessarily over. This is only the beginning. But as long as the Hawks don't allow it to be a distraction, I don't think they will. It's within the team, the organization. I have never met Tony Wrestler, but I've heard a lot of good things about him as a person. And if he is as accountable as I think he is, I'm pretty sure that he's going to have a lot of things on lock and key, a lot of things getting audited. A lot of people are he's going to have that circle. Everyone has that circle. He's going to make it probably even tighter, even smaller, just because he doesn't need this type of infiltration to happen within the organization again down the line, because it is embarrassing. But I'm pretty sure he's taking accountability for it. The proper authorities are going to do what they're going to do, and he has a basketball team to run. Yeah, a basketball team that has beaten the Orlando Magic twice now. Last night, yes, in big fashion. Getting that big win last night. Hey, y'all want to know what's funny? Is anybody seen Millie Mills? Has anybody seen my guy Millie Mills? I can't never find Millie Mills when Atlanta is whooping up on the Magic. Like that's just crazy to me.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. Millie, man, we've been looking for you, man. But yes, the Atlanta Hawks taking care of business again. Me and Walter, we dropped a video last night on Hawks Digest, so you guys can check that out as well. But hey, man, one thing we can talk about a few things here from the Atlanta Hawks. Like overall, let's talk about overall, not necessarily just a game. It's been 8 games so far. So overall, I want to know how you guys feel about the Atlanta Hawks. Walter, I know it's kind of a cheat code to start with you, so I'm gonna start with T Wil. And how you guys are feeling in the first 8 games. It's only been 8 games now about the Atlanta Hawks.
I feel pretty good. Look, we did this without Trey. I think we are finding out who we are as a team And I think we are also finding out who we are without Trey. And when Trey comes back, we're going to find out who we are as a team with Trey. But it's good that we can go up against a team like Orlando, which, let's be honest, I mean, they bullied us last year. They took our lunch money. Hey, what you got on my 40, homie? Like, they deboed us last year. Let's be real. We could not beat them because they were so much bigger than us. And it's good to see. Guess what? Can't do that anymore, Orlando. Can't do that. We can beat you at home. We can beat you in your house. We can beat you anywhere. And we can beat you without Trey Young. And the defense, to me, was on display last night. And I'm gonna big up somebody that had. Let me tell you something, man. I am digging. I love me some Mo Gay, man. I love me.
We've been
Mo
talking
Gay,
about
man.
OG,
Yeah.
baby.
Hey, man, came in there last night. Mo said, "What is this doing here? Get this out of here." And then when they not hurt one of our guys, but I think
Oh yeah,
that or whatever that did the hard foul, and then Mo Gay was like, "Hey man, you about to get these problems. You were about to get these problems, buddy." So I like that. I think every team needs a fiery guy that's a protector. And I definitely think that is Mo Gay. And I am a fan, and I think he should get more time. I know that Quinn's initial thought process was not to use him, but I think he's making that awfully difficult. Like, I think Mo G is here to stay. Those are my thoughts, but you guys cover Wakanda forever, brother. you guys cover the Hawks on a daily basis. Give me your thoughts. Has Mo Gay made it difficult to put him back on the bench with this play?
And Chris and I have talked about this in part, you dig what I'm saying, both together and separately, but Mo Gay was somebody to put your eye on last year, because when he got on the floor, he made every moment count. He made every minute count. And my thing, okay, so if you can see behind me, I played football in college, right? That's my expertise. I understand that. I understand it to the core. So I'm not going to play as if I can speak on basketball to the core like I can. But what I do understand is I never scored in football. I never touched the ball in football unless I was snapping it. So the most important stuff that I could do was outside of touching the ball. I can block better. If I was on defense, I could tackle better. If I was, you know what I'm saying? So there's so much you can do without the ball.
Yeah,
and
right.
So people don't pay attention. Like literally, this is how people watch sports. Oh, he scored. Oh, he fly. Oh, he good. And you don't pay attention to who actually does the dirty work. Mo Gay does the dirty work.
Yeah.
And he makes it easier for other guys on the court to do what they do best. Have we not noticed that Onyeka Okongwu, his shot has been opening up since the doggone play-in tournament versus the Miami Heat? You dig what I'm saying? And partially, I feel as though Mo Gay is slightly responsible because he's doing a lot of the dirty work that fell on Okongwu when Mo Gay wasn't there and when Kristaps Porzingis wasn't there as well. Again, these things, I think Mo Gay is an awesome addition. Somebody that the Hawks have built. You dig what I'm saying? From College Park on up. So I definitely like Mo Gay. I feel as though the Atlanta Hawks are definitely moving in the right trajectory 8 games into the season. One thing me and Chris oftentimes say is we like to see them start fast, stay fast, and finish strong. They didn't start fast this season, but they're getting their engines churning. They're also moving. The team itself, they're not just standing around and waiting for ISO ball. They're not just standing around and waiting to see what this player does or whatnot. You dig what I'm saying? I've seen multiple times where if Dyson Daniels is touching the paint, that Ricochet is also attacking the paint as well for that cut. You dig what I'm saying? So it's just, there's so many different ways that we can dissect the Atlanta Hawks from so many different angles. But right now, off of this win, it's great. But even one of the things I also want to point before I shut my mouth is that we also see positives even in the losses so far this season. In the losses last year, we like, I don't know what we gonna do. But this year, it's like, okay, I kind of can see they're definitely doing better. Okay, they didn't allow this team to just pull away with 10 minutes in the fourth quarter, and now we're bringing up the rest of our bench and sitting our starters. We actually are in the games, in the final minutes of the game. And in case in point, the Cleveland game. So I just feel as though there's a lot of optimism circulating this team.
Absolutely, man. Just getting back to Mo G, man. I've been a fan of Mo G for a minute. I've been looking at him when he was down in College Park. He was having some consistent games, saying just not necessarily just about box score watching this, how he was affecting the floor. To Walter's point, I wanted him up here. I made the video on Hawks Digest, personally myself, before he was brought up. And I was saying, man, hey, man, it may be time. He may be a secret weapon. And he's slowly growing. Mo G wasn't even supposed to play last year. Quinn Snyder said that himself. But due to injuries, guys, going out of the lineup, inserts Mo G. Now, it was telling to me this past offseason how he did not play in Summer League. That lets you know how much this team valued Mo G in his minutes last year that he took advantage of. So Mo G is one of those guys that's one of those lunch pail guys, do the dirty work type of a guy, but it doesn't necessarily always have to have the offensive onslaught like some others. But one thing about it, he's gonna play that defense. He's not gonna back down. He has that fiery spirit. You got to have guys like that on your squad. It's sometimes it's not always about the stars. I mean, even Shaq said it himself. You got to have those others, and he is one of those others that honestly is a great guy to have, and he's going to continuously grow. Overall, for the Atlanta Hawks, I believe in the first 8 games, we are seeing a team that is still trying to gel. You've seen a team that has probably played maybe about 4-5 games at the most at full strength, especially now with Trae Young being down. So this team already has the gel. You got to think about it. The continuity has to get there. You got the guys who's been here with the guys who are brought in, and everybody has to mix and gel together, learn each other's tendencies, and then they can be able to go out there and consistently beat teams. We see that the Hawks are trying to put it together. Unfortunately, it just doesn't happen at the snap of a finger. But I did say in the first 10 games, I would hope that the Atlanta Hawks will either have a winning record or be right at 500. We have 2 more games left, and they're very important. They're the Toronto Raptors. They gave us a shellacking in the first game of the season, especially with the points in the paint. I know that the Hawks are ready to get back after those guys, unfortunately, without Trae, but we're going to see how we still be able to navigate. Then you also have a back-to-back because on that Saturday night, you have the Los Angeles Lakers, who right now, currently, they're 6-2. And you're going to have – that's yet another test, especially without Trae Young. I believe the Cavs was honestly, respectfully, our first test without Trae. And they had some guys missing too, at least 4. So take that with a grain of salt. We are still trying to gel, but the potential of this team, especially when you got guys like Zachary Ricochet, who is the X factor for them, Jalen Johnson, who is on his revenge tour, and that guy is an absolute player. In a minute, give him another season or 2, he's going to be a complete player all the way around, because there's only a few things that's obvious that he needs to work on. But one thing that has gotten better is his vision, his court vision, his open floor vision. And that pass that he had last night to where it was like a bunch set over there in the corner, and then he just flinged it right to Onyeka Okongwu, who was streaking down the center. So it's just little things like that, man. You see this team, Dyson Lamar Daniels. We have a thing over there, Hawks Digest. But anyway, Dyson Daniels, man, his most efficient game as a Hawk, 8 of 9 from the field, showing that most improved things that we really like to see from Dyson Daniels. So absolutely loved it, man. Love this team right now, man. I know that they're still growing. So to be right here, right now, in the early part of the season, I think is a great thing. We got. Oh, okay. I got you. All right. Real quick, before I let my man up out of here, I got to bring it up. We got to get into just a little bit of football talk. I feel like it'd be irresponsible if I don't ask you at least a football question, Walter.
I understand, brother.
So, all right. So talking about these Atlanta Falcons, man, give me your X factors for how the Atlanta Falcons can get this win, pick up this win against the Indianapolis Colts all the way over there in Berlin.
Yeah, I gotta think. Just okay, so I blame myself, and I have no ties to the organization for one. But I did believe that Raheem Morris was the coach for the job. Boy, was I wrong. I said earlier this season, because my thing is you lose to teams that you shouldn't lose to, but for some reason play up to your competition. That tells me two things. One, you have really good talent on your team. You have a lot of talent on your team, but they're poorly coached. I saw it. So I think there's no one X factor. I think there's a bunch of different factors that come into play. For one, don't beat yourself. Don't do anything that puts you in trouble of not making the down. Do not fall behind the sticks. We saw in this last game versus the God dog skips me.
The Patriots.
Yes, the Patriots. In crunch time, they gave up. You dig what I'm saying? A illegal grounding penalty, which took away a down and 10 yards. So that definitely made that highly unlikely, and of course ended the game for the Falcons. Two, again, the case in point, you lose to Miami a week prior, a team that you should not lose to, but then play up to your competition, the Patriots, a team that you could have beat, but you didn't due to immature things. One of the things that I've known in my years of football was that even in practice, we were punished severely for false starts, for miscues, for penalties, for different things that just don't make sense. And coaches made sure that they put it like up downs, run up and down up the field. They made sure we knew under no circumstance you do not do this. If the count is on 3, wait. You dig what I'm saying? Don't move until the ball moves if you're on defense. Don't hold if you be in position. And again, I feel as though, unfortunately, this coaching staff as a whole has not done their just due with these Atlanta Falcons. So, in my honest opinion, all of the factors that can happen, I think they just need to. Raheem is on the hot seat, and if he doesn't do anything, I think he has to go. And I know I might be looking ahead, but that's just as a because. Yeah, bro. Like last year,
speak your thoughts.
Just think about it. Last year, the only thing that stopped us was because Kirk Cousins lied about an injury. I think if they brought Penix in earlier, we would have been looking at a possible playoff berth or even hosting a playoff game at home. But that was something that hindered us last year. And then to this season, you dropped your first game to the Buccaneers. A game that could have been won. As a matter of fact, your talent got out there and got in front and started to make things happen until started to make silly coaches' decisions. So then you fire a coach and then say, hey, let's bring somebody down. Let's bring the offensive coordinator down on the field. Yeah, we can get connectivity a little bit better here and there or whatnot. And then all of a sudden, yeah, you're starting to beat teams, but then again, you lose to Miami. So it's just a lot of it's uncharacteristic of a winning team or a team that has as much talent as the Atlanta Falcons does.
And this is coming from a guy, again, he just said doesn't have a dog in the fight. He's not necessarily a Falcons fan, but observing it as a football fan, that's his observation.
Oh, I'm a Falcon fan. I'm pissed off. That's why I'm talking like this.
Okay. I know at the beginning you was like, I don't have any necessarily like ties to the team.
Well, I don't have any ties to the team, but I just want to make sure that I separate myself from trying to take ownership, because that's also something that I think a lot of people make a mistake on saying, if I was the coach, I'd have done this. If I was no, I wouldn't have done nothing because I'm not on the team. I have nothing a part of that, but I have to just speak objectively. I have to pay attention to what it is that I see. There's a lot of times that Raheem Morris has looked like a deer in the headlights.
Right.
He's made mistakes. He's made timing mistakes. As a matter of fact, I want to say the second game of the season, there was a clock management issue. Clock management is the number one thing that is taught in high school. That's taught in high school. You know what I'm saying? Clock management is something that, so you, again, I said it after the Carolina game. Raheem Morris is on the hot seat because with the team with that much talent, you don't lose by 30 to the Carolina Panthers, and you don't lose at home to Miami.
Yeah, it was tough.
That's simple and plain.
Nah, it's tough. It's tough, but I know you had to get out of it, but you definitely was cooking, man. But I know you had to get out of here, man. Y'all be on these tea times, these golfs and all this stuff like that. Y'all be on this stuff, huh?
Shoot, you pay as much as they make you pay. You doggone gonna make sure you're on time for that tea time. You understand me?
Hey, y'all better come to the basketball gym. I'm trying to tell y'all, ain't no necessarily tea time in there.
I had to hang it up, Doc. I think the golf course is the perfect place for all basketball players to come and rest their pretty little heads. I'm telling you right now, it's the best place to be. It's the best place to be. You will love it, Chris. T Wil, I don't know if you played any rounds of golf or anything?
Once or twice.
I'm telling you guys, it's addictive. I'm a former offensive lineman. I never thought in a day of my life that I'd be playing golf, but dadgummit, I am addicted.
Hey, all right now. Hey, we have buddies, our buddies Jack Spade and
Jack Spade. That's what I was thinking. Jack Spade would love him.
Yeah, man. Big Low Country, man. Those guys, they do their thing over there with the golf. I get out the way and leave it up to those fellas. But please, Walter, man, before you get up out of here, please let everybody know where they can find you, Alpha Male Sports, just whatever you got going on.
Oh, for sure. On Instagram, definitely got two places you can catch me at. Radio 6_Raheem. Radio, the number 6_Raheem. You can also catch me at Alpha Male Sports, ALPHAMALESPORTS. ALPHAMALESPORTS. Definitely check in. I definitely let you guys know about different things, updates and whatnot. So definitely hit me up on Instagram. I also have links going to my YouTube, but also catch me on my YouTube as well, Alpha Male Sports. And just check me out. I'm very active. I'm very talkative. As you can see, I talk a lot. Love golf. You feel me? Love golf and my wife. So definitely, man, just check in with your boy. Very passionate about my Falcons and anything Atlanta. Let me just point that out. And before I go, I have to point this out. Georgia Tech's going to beat Georgia this year.
Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, wow.
Hey, I love both teams, honestly. But I love my dogs.
You know what I just heard, Chris? I just heard that Walter and I are going to do a show.
Okay.
When the converse of that happens, that's what I just heard. What a show!
Listen. Both DeMario Mentor, a UGA alum, and Reggie Ball, a Georgia Tech alum, have graced my show, and we've all talked about the Georgia Tech rivalry. Last year was the perfect precursor to what this year's going to be. So, y'all mark my words. Definitely pay attention, because I'm just saying the Georgia fans have definitely been riding a high horse the last 15 years.
Yeah, for sure. Easy.
So
but I will admit,
15 years, like we hadn't been thumping Tech forever. The last 15. Whatever.
I know what he's trying to say.
Whatever. Yeah, okay. Hey, Walt.
They've always been little brother, but Georgia Tech this year, I ain't gonna lie. Georgia Tech this year.
Tech has a good team. I'm not taking anything away from them. Tech has a good team, and it will definitely be a ball game. And look, at Georgia cannot come out like they normally do and be dead in the first half, because
they can't.
Not against that team. This is a good Tech team, but I'm not gonna go
you
so
lost
far
me with that one.
to mail it in and be like, no, I can't let you do that, Walt. But hey, I'm looking forward to the show. Now, Walt, when do they play?
The 28th of this month.
Oh,
28th. Yeah, right after Thanksgiving.
Right after Thanksgiving.
Y'all should be full. Y'all should be good and full. This is the perk. As a matter of fact, Georgia and Georgia Tech should go on a 3-day fast.
Oh
Man,
man.
you better.
Well, yeah, I'm not fast.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to.
We don't have to. We don't have
I'm not
to.
doing that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to myself. So, what time is the game, Walt? Because we need to do a show directly after that game.
Oh, listen, you got my info. We are definitely gonna get it. Yeah, we're gonna definitely get together, brother.
I can't
There
wait.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. T
I'm
Wil
gonna go ahead and get the thumbnail ready for it today.
Okay, I got you.
The show. But thank you for pulling up though, Walter, man. We're going to have you back in, man. Of course, you know I'll see you in the meeting rooms of the Hawks Digest. But
for sure,
outside of that, man, take it easy.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you, Walter.
God bless y'all. Take it easy.
All right, you too,
yes, sir. Okay, man. So
that
was my co-host over there.
He said, I got to digest that.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, that was my co-host over at Hawks Digest, man, Walter Pollard. Wanted to get a show in, you know, because I know that he had his own personal thing. Of course, I have my own personal thing. So definitely wanted to get his thoughts about a few things around Atlanta. And he's from Atlanta as well, too.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was a lovely thing. You got 3 Atlanta guys all up here talking Atlanta sports. But I do wanted to back up. I knew Walter had to leave, so that's why I sped a few things up. But I do want to take a step back because Miss Carey had a question that I wanted to get to.
It's Carey, baby. Or is it 21 Carey today? Is it BP Carey or 21 Carey today?
No, I think she may be BPE today, man. May possibly. Okay. But she said, do you guys think that that she knew about it going back to the Mr. Jones situation? To Walter's point, he hasn't a wife, so maybe she didn't know about his spending, maybe just a thought. But I would say my thoughts about it. Honestly, I don't think it even really matters whether she knew or not. I honestly feel like just because she was involved with the spending, getting things spent on her is one of those things where kind of like, you know, you involved with, you're guilty by association type thing. There are policies that these companies have in place to where they find out things that's going on behind the scenes. They like to kind of like get rid of all parties involved. But but ultimately, just to answer the question, yeah, I think she knew. I think she knew because there's a saying in the beginning of Casino that goes with 2 parts, man. When you love somebody, you gotta love them with all your heart. You gotta give them everything. If not, then what's the point? You know. So, and some guys dive a little deeper into that than others. So, a part of me definitely feels like she knew. That was another reason why, like, even if it wasn't in the beginning, I definitely feel like over time it was all right, baby girl, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I got going on. Or one of those situations to where just like whatever you want, you can just ask for it. I got you. I'm not worried about the money. We can do it. We can go, all that, et cetera, et cetera. But
you can have whatever you like.
Yeah, you know, it can be kind of one of those type of situations. But I don't. Ultimately, I just know it's a bad situation. What you got, to you?
I don't know that she necessarily knew. Now, I know that she did work for the Hawks, but that doesn't mean that she had access to his line of credit, to his credit card. Now, she could have, but what guy hasn't tried to impress his lady by saying, "Hey, baby, take this card. What can I get, Daddy? Anything, anything, anything." He didn't tell her, "Look, I'm illegally using this card. You should." Like, we don't know. Okay, so I mean, I don't know that we know. I don't know that we will ever know. I know they haven't prosecuted her yet. So to me, that says that legally she was not culpable. Now, they had an offense romance, which that's probably why they fired her, because that is, you know,
you can't.
What do they call that? Fraternizing is probably prohibited. But
push and woo.
Yeah, but we don't. Again, that's a far cry from, hey, I've embezzled $3.8 million. I just don't know that there was that conversation.
Not in that context. Absolutely not. Now, he'd be a darn fool if he did that.
He's trying to impress her.
But
So,
I mean,
probably
there's plenty of ways that I can tell you I get. Come on, man, T Will, we guys. There's plenty of ways that we can tell a woman we get money without saying we embezzled $3.8 million.
I'm just saying he probably was like, Daddy get all the purse, baby, whatever you need. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is more culpable than, hey, only use that card on Thursdays. Like I can't.
At
You know
3
what
p.m.
I can't.
Do not use it at 2:55. Do
Right.
not.
Right. Don't do that. And don't use it at Target, no matter what you do. We're not affiliated with them. Only use it. I mean, like I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's and it could have been. She could have known, but I don't know that you can necessarily prove that, because if you could, she'd be in the clink right along with him. So,
is there a world to where possibly behind the scenes she may be the leak?
Oh, you mean? So now he got a new chick and she mad as I mean, hey, you never know. You never know. I know you're not gonna do this to me. Hey, you gotta go. I'm sorry, it's not gonna work out. Peaches, come on, hop in the car. Hey,
only
you
because
gotta go.
we've seen that in so many times throughout history.
I mean, hey, that it happens. But I mean, I don't know, because it cost her job, right?
Another reason she has nothing to lose. I'm already gone. You still there?
Oh, you're saying after the fact?
Mm-hmm.
When did she leave?
Well, that's the only problem. Like, I've been looking to try to see any kind of information on her. I'm like, when will she possibly let go? So that's another reason why I say, is there a world where she possibly
could be. It could be, but if it is, that means she definitely knew about it. Now, if that's the case, I mean, it could be, but I just, because now for you to talk about it, that means you knew. Now you're culpable,
right? But people make deals. People know information and make deals.
Yeah, but you're not going to work in another organization like that again. You're really not going to do it now, but you're not going to work in another organization like that again.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the scandal, because guilt by association. Yep. So I don't know that you necessarily would want that. I mean, I don't look, Chris, it could be. I never say never. You know what I mean? People do stuff that defies logic all the time. So I never say never, but what probably happened is no, I don't think she turned state evidence. I don't think she had anything to do with it. I think she left. I'd love to know when she left, because that would kind of tell us, right? Like if she left last year after the Vegas trip, I don't know.
Right. You know or I mean? If she ever left.
Right. Or if she got terminated like last week.
Yeah, if my thing is if her termination came anywhere around his, because he got terminated in June. So he made it all the way up to June. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it all depends on the timetables. That's just what we don't have. But it is interesting to speculate, though. I will say that, man. It's just something outside of sports. But definitely got to get into some Falcons talk before we get up out of here, man. I did T Will. I asked Walter before he got out of here. I know he definitely gave us a whole, outline of how he feels about the Atlanta Falcons, how he feels about Raheem Morris. But just particularly this game that we have to have, by the way, what are your X factors to getting this win versus the Colts?
It's going to have to be Bijan. It's going to have to be Drake. It's going to have to be Kyle Pitts. You're going to have to. One thing that Zach Robinson did in the second half of the Patriots game was he started scheming up plays specifically to get to his playmakers, which he should have been doing the entire time. But anyway, you're going to have to get the ball to Pitts. You're going to have to get the ball to Bijan. You're going to have to get the ball to Drake. And you don't necessarily have to run the ball to Bijan. Look, Bijan, again, in my humble opinion, is the closest thing to Marshall Faulk that I've seen. And if you guys don't know who Marshall Faulk is, some of you young Thundercats, as Lowe would say. Marshall Faulk I think he started with the Colts. He ended up with the Rams. He was on the Super Bowl Ram winning teams, and he was a part of the greatest show on turf, and he could run it anywhere you wanted, and he could catch it, and just the most complete running back that I've ever seen. To me, Bijan reminds me a lot of that. So guess what? If Bijan gets 120 passing yards and Drake gets 120 and Bijan runs for 50 or 60, same difference. You're just trying to keep the ball score and matriculate the ball down the field. So I really feel like your playmakers are going to be your X factor. You're going to have to get Daniel Jones on the ground. You're going to have to get to him. You're going to have to contain Jonathan Taylor. And that's my concern because, mama, there goes that man again. Yes. Hey, Jonathan Taylor's having a great year, and the Falcons have to find a way of stopping the run. Now, I don't know if you need to deploy heavier packages in early down situations, but this game is going to come down to, A, can we move the ball, and B, can we stop Jonathan Taylor? That's just what it's going to come down to. So those are my thoughts on the X factors. Chris, what are yours?
My X factor would be for the offense. Really, honestly, this can be for offense and defense because this is the number one scoring offense that you're going against. I'm not trying to put any fear into anybody, but they put up 34 touchdowns, and I'm just saying they're number one. Just stating the facts. But you're going to have to be on offense and defense able to stay on the field on third down and get off the field on third down. This team, on third down, talking about the Indianapolis Colts, they stay on the field. Okay? They are in the top 5 as far as staying on the field on third down. So that means as a defense, we got to make sure that we negate whatever they possibly do. They also love 2nd and 6. They love short distance situations so they can continue to use that workhorse named JT.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to necessarily beat you with Daniel Jones. They want to beat you up with JT and then let Daniel Jones finish it off for them.
Clean up, yeah.
So at the end of the day, third down is going to be key for both. Also, red zone efficiency on both sides of the ball have to be on point because yet again, you're going against a team now on defense for red zone. The Colts are actually worse than us for the passing game. As crazy as that may sound, but it's true. But on the other side, in the red zone, again, I just said the number one scoring defense. They are in the top 5, I believe top 4 when it comes to putting the ball in the end zone. We have to match that. We have to make sure we're putting the ball in the end zone. When we get into the red zone, our efficiency is 2. But this game, we have to have it on point. We have to. Now, I really believe that those 2 things are going to factor in so much because if you can do that, then we can control the time of possession. Something else that in all 3 of the Falcon wins, they've won there. But another crazy stat, that in all of the Falcons' loss, every last one of them, I went and took the time and looked. Anytime that a Falcons quarterback, because Kirk Cousins played against the Dolphins, anytime that a Falcons quarterback this year has thrown more than 30 passes, we have lost the game. Every single loss. Now that's crazy to me. So that goes back to thinking that, yes, it is a tough defense. Yet another tough defense that you're going against where far as they're stout against the run. But you can't go away from it. You just got to figure out a way to get more creative with it because that's your bread.
Yeah, I agree with that, Chris. I think you're going to have to diversify your runs. It can't just be outside stretch. It can't be inside. You're going to have to run some duo combinations. You're going to have to vary some looks. You're going to have to do some things differently. It's like normally when you bring blocking tight end. What's his name, Chris?
What's his name? Blocking tight end. Who you talking about? Oh, Charlie Warner?
Yeah, when you bring Charlie Warner down, sometimes you need to pass. When you run Charlie Warner in motion and then you sit him down like right inside the tackle, sometimes you need to do a play action pass to throw those guys off. You're going to have to diversify what you do. That's number one. And you're also going to have to diversify your run game. And what's going to be difficult is you may have to do that with the backup guard because I think Lindstrom is a go, but I'm not sure.
Here we go.
for Raheem to say week to week, that means Bergeron could be out 3-4 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and yes, breaking news. Yes, Raheem Morris has said that the Falcons offensive lineman Matthew Bergeron is week to week, while Lindstrom is day to day. Now,
Yeah.
that week to week thing, we've heard that week to week thing before, and that normally means that it won't be this week, possibly not next week either. So
Yeah.
that right there is not good because Matthew Bergeron, of course, is one of our young core pieces on that offensive line. Now you're starting to dig into your depth even more. We've already been digging there because we lost Caleb McGarry. So I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen now with Storm Norton because his 21-day window is almost up. And eventually you're going to have to make a decision whether you're going to bring him up, whether you're going to put him on IR for the rest of the year. And I believe Scott Kennedy said, or you're going to have to release him. So it's just like, okay, the Falcons have a decision they got to make with Storm Norton, who has his 21-day window has been clear. He's been practicing, but yet he hasn't been called up yet. And we just signed yet another offensive lineman. So I'm trying to figure out exactly that which way are we going to go. I would love to see what Storm Norton has to bring. Is he possibly ready yet? I know he hasn't practiced or played in months, but is he ready? You know, and if he is, then we need to just go ahead and start trying to roll him out there because at least we know what Storm can bring.
Isn't he a tackle though?
Yes, but Elijah Wilkinson is more so a guard. So it's just like, well, if a guy is out at the guard position, possibly you maybe can slide Eli there.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, so you can possibly put him in his natural position, and you can have Storm Norton at tackle, and then you can have Kyle Hinton and Jonathan Gwynn. But said bad news
Gary,
about.
why are you just giving us bad news this morning? What's going on, Gary?
What are we talking about?
What are you doing, Gary?
Yeah, man. What do we got going on? Okay, so Morris explains
he
the
had a
long
setback
snap
in his recovery.
Oh God, that hurts.
Dang.
Okay, more. Well, I'm gonna pull that comment up in a second. But Morris said the long snapper Liam McCollum's wife is pregnant. There could be complications. That's why the Falcons signed a long snapper this week. Okay, so that explains that. And congratulations to Liam. You know, it's a good guy. Dapped him up a couple times on the field.
Liam. Congratulations.
Kerry also said, and this is going back to the point where I was saying about anytime we've thrown over 30 passes, we've lost. She said, stop having your rookie quarterback throw the ball 36, 37 times on the road. We need balance. Our identity is supposed to be running the ball. No excuse for our running back duo to have a combine of under 20 carries. And I believe in that carry, that should never happen at all. We have two bruisers. It's not like we got, I don't know. I don't want to name anybody because I had a few names come in my head, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to say guys who are backups in that role or guys who are just not as good as that duo that we have here in Atlanta in Bijan and Tyler. Yes, let me get down to it. More news, more breaking news here from Miss Carey saying that Morris didn't want to elaborate, but he confirmed Storm Norton had a setback in his recovery. And that was not good news. And for sure, the reason why we felt that we needed to acquire Andrew Suber. So that's not a good thing. Okay, that just put a damper on the parade. So most likely Storm is probably going to be IR for the rest of the year.
For the season.
That's true. Yeah, Storm is going to be IR because I don't see him releasing him. So Storm is going to be on IR for the rest of the season. We're not going to see Storm Norton this year then, because again, that window closes, I believe, Sunday or something like that. So if he's not ready and had a setback and is not going to be playing or something like this, I believe it's either Sunday or sometime next week. Either way it goes, it's close. It's really close. So he's probably not going to make that designation. So most likely he's going to be on IR for the rest of the year. And that hurts right there.
That hurts. That hurts. That really hurts. Yeah. It happens. It happens.
Yeah, that's tough right there. Man. And that's an X factor right there. Though that breaking news, all that X factor stuff. So we know some things that's going on with the what's good, Mike? What's happening? And there, we know some things that's going on with the team that could affect the team going on in the future, and particularly in this game too, because of Matthew Bergeron is week to week. most likely he's not playing in this Germany game. Now, I still believe in Chris Lindstrom day to day. I can believe in possibly that. I believe he's a tough guy. I think he possibly can get out there. But not having Bergeron, one of our young core pieces on that offensive line, that's going to hurt. Hopefully we can have, and that just does away with my plan about bringing in Storm and possibly having Eli go to his natural position. Not going to be able to happen now. So it's going to have to be Kyle Hinton, possibly Andrew Suber, who does have 7 starts under his belt with the Cincinnati Bengals. But ultimately, we're going to be mixing and matching until guys get healthy, it looks like now, man. So, man, that hurts. But we still got a game to win, man. We still got a game to win.
Got to do it, man. Schedule don't stop. Nobody's going to care. No other NFL team is going to care about injuries. Everybody's got them. So you just got to move forward. But
give me a score. Give me a score prediction, T Wil.
Ooh, wow. Oh,
yeah, that's what we're doing here. We do around A1 Forever Sports. We get bold.
Whew, yeah, we do. Okay. If the Falcons can stop Jonathan, and my brother reminded me, well, you picked the Falcons to win. So when I do that, I give if-then scenarios. Eric, if you're out there listening, this is what I do, little big brother. If the Falcons can contain Jonathan Taylor, if the Falcons can win the time of possessions, if the Falcons can get at least 4 sacks, again, hold Jonathan Taylor to maybe no more than 80, 90 yards, I say the Falcons can win it. Let's call it 28-24. No, let's call it 30-24. Okay. That's going to be, but it is conditional to, those 2 events occurring.
Right. Okay, so, I'm with it. And, I'm gonna stick with the same one that I gave last night on the preview show. Me and Smitty, and we also had Mr. Joe Gotti and also his homie Dez on their podcasts as well. Falcon content creators. Just make sure you guys go check them out. The Dirty Birds with a Z. So yeah, y'all check those guys out. Make sure just check out the show last night. They gave their thoughts on some things. We gave our thoughts on some things. Ultimately, good show, good preview. Y'all guys should check it out when you guys get the opportunity. Last night, again, my score prediction last night was 24-21 Falcons, and I'm going to stay right there at 24-21 Falcons, finding a way to get it done, finding a way to scratch and claw to a win over in Berlin, and coming back to get ready for those Carolina Panthers. That's where I'm going with it, man.
Let's do it.
But man, this has been yet another show. This was more so of a pop-up style, even though we talked about it, but it was still pop-up for y'all. So for the ones who did catch it and did pop in with us, we thank you guys because, you guys are the lifeline of the show. Interacting with us, please make sure you hit that like button for A1 Forever and hit that like button for My ATL Sports 1. But before we get out of here, T Wil, what are your shout out, sir?
Hey man, shout out to everybody in the chat who joined us. Shout out to you, sir, for having me on your show. I'm humbly appreciative as always. It's always good to do shows with you, brother. Shout out to Walter. Appreciate him joining us. Yes. Appreciate all of that. His comments, very poignant. Hey man, last but not least, want to thank God for waking me up this morning. Thank God for all you wonderful fans in the chat. Thank God for sending y'all in our path this way. And Chris, want to wish you much success. Want to thank God for Mr. Jack Spade and Eric Parker, who gave me my start in this business. Again, y'all can see me at For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. And you guys have an amazing day. Chris, it's on you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moore says linebacker Ronnie Harrison has earned more reps. You think? Yeah. I mean, my thing is we seen him mostly in the second half for a reason. JD snaps will be going down. JD will still be used, but it's only going to be situational, I believe. And when you possibly need an extra guy in the box somewhere in that area, I think Ronnie Harrison by the end of the year will probably, outplay JD Bertrand. I think it's probably easy to say that. And hopefully we get Divine Diablo back, maybe in a cast later on sometime this season. You never know. We'll see what happens. But for me, Chris Tipmore, A1 Forever Sports. Shout out to all you guys again, like I said, who joined us. Couldn't do this without you guys. T Will, thank you for joining me this morning. And shout out to my co-host for over at the Hawks Digest, Walter Pollard, for joining as well. Just like I said, quick show how the Hawks dodged the bullet, no longer having that embezzlement, over their head that they did not know about. And then also the Braves introduced Walt Weiss and our thoughts about that. So if you missed that, make sure you go to the beginning and check that out. Also, of course, Falcons in a must-win game, really must-win for the rest of the season. But it's almost like, it's Russian roulette. One game after game, can you get past it? But regardless, great show. Thank you guys for joining us as always. And for me, also, Instagram, A1 Forever, TikTok, The Real A1 Forever, and Twitter or X, A1 Forever. Hey, man, just always come up, be a part of the A1 Forever family because we always love to have you over here. And peace and blessings to you all. And to you all, yeah, man, we're going to holler.